Today's topic, Neville Goddard 101 and how to use the law of assumption. Okay, let me tell you, I found Neville Goddard and it completely changed my life. And prior to finding Neville, I was obsessed with everything you could think of. Spiritual stuff, self-help, personal development, whatever you could think of, I did. Okay, Abraham Hicks, all of it. Okay, prayed to Jesus. I've done it all. You can just go to my website and read my story and you'll see what I'm talking about, right? But here's the deal. The minute I found Neville, it was like I found the missing piece to a puzzle. It completely changed my life. And one of the reasons why it completely changed my life is because he aligns everything to scripture. So I will say, if you go to my website and click the shop page, I'll actually put the link below. You can get his book. It's his full collection. Okay, so go there because you really want to read his work to really break it down and understand it. But he basically taught the law, which is literally what everyone is teaching. The Bible is teaching it. Law of attraction, it's the same thing. It's all the same thing. It's the universal law that we all knew we were going to, agree upon when we came here. And it's literally the law, what I like to call it is it's the law of a mirror. Okay, it's a mirror. Everyone uses this analogy, but I'm going to use it because it really is the best one to really understand this, is that when you look in a mirror and you want to change yourself, you don't change the actual mirror. You don't punch the mirror, right? You don't do anything to the mirror, right? You do it to you and then the mirror changes, okay? So that's how you want to think of the basic tenets of the law of assumption, is that everything is a mirror, but it's mirroring what's happening inside you, okay? And it's your assumptions. Now, your beliefs are a collection of assumptions over time that have been persisted in, okay? And that persistence in the assumption has created neural pathways and has created a habit, a mindset, if you will, okay? And so this, whatever you want to call it, your beliefs, your assumptions, your thoughts, your feelings, everything that's happening in what I call the internal landscape is being pushed out into the world. But sometimes the mirror isn't so easy to figure out. So if someone's screaming at you and yelling at you, most people would say, oh, you must have anger within, right? It's a very cheesy way of talking about it. It's very new agey. You must have anger within you. No, maybe you just assume that this person is an angry person, or maybe you just assume that people are angry, or maybe you just assume that people can get angry. There's so many aspects to this, right? And I want to also add too, that we do have collective programming, if you will, right? So a lot of this might go unconscious and it could be just what we picked up from childhood, what we picked up from the matrix, if you will. So first step here is you do not want to judge yourself for what's coming at you in the 3D, if you will, the circumstance world of your reality. The first way to use the law of assumption is to literally just start getting clear. Start getting clear on what you're consciously saying, what you're consciously assuming, what you're consciously believing. And obviously all of these things could have been unconscious and you're just bringing them to the surface. So that's really the first way to get clear so that we can start creating your dream life. So the first way to use the law of assumption is to get conscious of the narrator in your mind. Literally, the narrator in your mind. What are you telling yourself about your life right now? What are you saying? Because I'm telling you, it's on autopilot. A lot of what we think is just, we think what's happening is real, and then we just have commentary on it, right? So you have to really get clear on the commentary. So that's really the first step. The second step is to get clear on your vision. Your wish fulfilled is what Neville likes to call it, right? So it's like, think about it. It's like a genie coming down and being like, what is your wish, right? Like literally, it's like that. Now, there's some work we need to do, but technically it's a genie in a bottle giving you a wish. So get clear. What do you really want? What do you really want instead? So the first step was we're getting conscious, and the second step is we're getting clear. And the last step of the law of assumption and how to use it is you got to start getting creative. Okay, now here's where it's fun. Everything outside of you we think is real. We've been programmed to believe that what is happening outside of us is what's real. And we've been programmed. We might not even realize it, but we've been programmed to believe that what came first was outside us, right? And then came the thought, okay? Now, that could be true because maybe something happens outside of you and you don't really remember what you were thinking prior that really created that to happen. And we don't need to like sit there and wallow in why. We just need to move forward. Now, technically time doesn't exist. We're not going to get into that in this video, but technically time doesn't exist. So there's no point in lingering in why, unless that helps you in your process, we're going to focus on what we want instead in the future. Okay, now, how you want to think of it is there are infinite timelines. Infinite timelines. If you can imagine it, it is real. Okay, so there's infinite timelines. So creation is already finished, it's already done, and you're just activating the timeline you want. You're activating the aspect of the person in front of you. You're literally activating whatever you want with your consciousness and your focus and your persistence in that focus, right? So here's what's so cool. When you start to realize that what is happening inside of you, your imagination, what we like to call the 4D, there's a 3D, then there's the 4D, right? What's happening in your imagination, it's really outside of time when you think of it, because you could just be thinking about whatever you want in your imagination, right? So whatever is happening with your thoughts and your imaginations and your feelings, you can actually control that to be what you want. And that's what we want to start getting in the practice of being a creator, right? We're getting conscious of what we've been doing, then we're getting clear on what we want, and then we're going to go into that creation, that conscious creation. So you just have to start playing in the future you that you want to be in this scenario, right? And you want to start feeling it as if it's real. And as Neville always says, the best time to do this is right before bed or right before you wake up in the morning, because he calls it a state akin to sleep, or SATS, if you will. So this is the best time because you're a little bit groggy, and the consciousness is the gatekeeper to the subconsciousness, right? So we really want to impress the subconscious mind with the wish fulfill. That's really all we're doing. And that's why technically you don't need to believe in what you want. If you're doubting, it's okay. You just need to persist in impressing the subconscious mind with it, so that the subconscious mind thinks it's real and really will be like, okay, I'm going to give it to you. You're going to get it in your reality. So I'll leave you with this. How the law of assumption is different from the law of attraction. In my mind, this is just in my mind. When I did the law of attraction for so long, it never really worked for me. But then everything clicked with Neville. And I tried to figure out why. And I think the difference is because with the law of attraction, we're kind of doing it in the 3D, right? But with the law of assumption, we're realizing that time doesn't exist. And we're actually accessing the quantum field. We're getting our solution from a place of no time, right? The quantum field. And we're realizing that creation is completely done already. It's completely done. There's no time and it's already done. So we're just activating, right? We're just putting our focus, and that's creating an activation of the timeline that we want. And so there's infinite timelines of you. What you want is only a desire because it's already real. So you just need to activate it. Remember, we are in a movie. You are a character. You're a hero in a hero's journey. And you are literally deciding what you want to create as you go. That is your free will conscious focus, right? Now, there obviously is the God version of you, and then there's the ego version of you. The ego version of you is like, I am Jennifer, right? I am my name. I am this character, and you really believe, you have amnesia, and you think you are the character, right? And then there's the consciousness, the I am presence, the beingness that you feel when you're just meditating and you're just being, right? So obviously, the character you isn't God, but the I am presence is God. And so just understand that you are God. You have the power. You have all of the power. Okay. So once you realize that you have the power, that what's happening outside of you is not real, and what's happening inside the 4D, the imagination, is what's real. And that's what you're going to create, but you have to persist in it, right? That's when you can really, truly start to create what you want and have your wish fulfilled.